In this video, I'm going to tell you about the test format for the reading section of the IELTS exam. Let's get started. Hello again. I'm Prem from Datum IELTS and this is video number 4 in the series Introduction to IELTS. In the previous video, we talked about the test format for the listening section of the IELTS exam. In this one, we are going to dive deeper into the test format for the reading section. To do well on the IELTS exam, or any exam for that matter, it's important that you know the test format in detail. So be sure to pay attention and watch the video till the end. Let's get started. Now, as we already know, the reading section is the second section of your IELTS exam, and it begins right after the listening section. It has 40 questions, and you are given 60 minutes to answer them. And as discussed in the first video, the reading sections for the academic and general training IELTS are different. So what's different about them? One difference is the source of the reading passages. On the academic exam, your passages are picked from journal articles, books, magazines, or newspapers, and are similar to the passages you may encounter in your university coursework. And sometimes they may include non-verbal material like graphs, diagrams, or illustrations. Whereas on the general training exam, the passages are picked from job descriptions, advertisements, fiction and non-fiction books, and so on. And these passages are similar to the ones that you may encounter at your workplace or in everyday life. Another difference between the academic and general training IELTS exams is the number and length of the reading passages. On the academic exam, you're given 3 long reading passages, and based on each passage, you're supposed to answer 13 to 14 questions. And you'll notice as you progress from passage 1 to passage 3, the difficulty level increases, which means your first passage is the easiest, the second passage is slightly more difficult, and the third passage is the most difficult. While on the general training exam, the reading test is divided into 3 sections. In section 1, you are given 2 or 3 short passages or several short passages. In section 2, you're given 2 medium-sized passages, and in section 3, you're given 1 long passage. And just like on the academic exam, the difficulty level increases from section 1 to 3, and you have to answer 13 to 14 questions on each section, making up a total of 40 questions across the 3 sections. Just like the listening section, on the reading section, you can expect to see a variety of question types, ranging from gap-fill questions like summary completion, sentence completion, note, table, flowchart completion questions, to short answer type questions, multiple choice questions, true false or yes no not given questions, and a variety of matching questions. Now I can't get into the details of each of these question types without making this video too long, so I'm going to reserve that for future videos. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. But for now, let's discuss another important point before wrapping up this video, and that is the difference between the computer-based and paper-based reading test. Just like the listening test, on the paper-based reading test, you're given a question booklet that contains all your reading passages and questions, and a separate answer sheet. And at the beginning of the test, you're given some time to fill in all your details. But unlike the listening test, you are not given 10 extra minutes to transfer your answers on the answer sheet. So it's better to write down your answers directly on the answer sheet as you work through the questions. Another noteworthy difference between the reading and listening sections is that on the reading section, you're allowed to flip through the question booklet and answer questions in any order you're comfortable. Whereas on the listening section, you had to wait for the audio to tell you to do so. Now coming to the computer-based reading test. Just like the listening test, you type in all your answers directly into the computer, but you're allowed to click through and answer questions in any order you like. Also, you're not given any extra time to check your answers, so 60 minutes is all you get. Now that brings us to the end of this video. In the next one, I'm going to tell you more about the test format for the writing section. And if you haven't watched the earlier videos in this series, you can do so by checking out the links in the description. See you in the next one.